Here we have for sale our 2019 on a 19 plate. This is our Ford Transit Custom. This is the 290 model, so 2.9 tonne gross vehicle weight. This one has got the 2 litre EcoBlue Euro 6 diesel engine producing 170 PS, which is roughly 170 brake horsepower. That is accompanied with a 6-speed manual gearbox in this particular van. And this is the short wheelbase sport panel van. And what we're going to do in this video is have a little walk around. I'll show you the spec that you get as standard on a Ford Transit Custom Sport of this age. There's some really nice optional extras on this particular example, which we'll talk you through. We'll have a really close look at the condition, talk to you a bit about the service history, also what we've done to it during our preparation, seeing as the vehicle is currently available for sale with us here at Bridgend Van Centre. So starting here then at the rear of the vehicle, we can see that this one is spec'd with rear barn doors. So barn doors are 2 doors which open in that sort of fashion. On a Sport, of course, you get a number of elements which come colour coded as standard. So that includes the door handles all round, the bumpers, so the rear bumper, front bumper, door mirror caps, and also things like these bits of trim here above the rear number plate and also trims down the side of the vehicle, all come colour coded in the body colour, which in this case is, of course, frozen white. On a Sport, you also get some styling on the vehicle from factory completely as standard. So that includes upgrades like these rear bumper corners here, which you can see are just slightly flared at the bottom. It's got this nice little detail which runs around the side. Also the wheel arch extensions, little details like that which are put on the vehicle from factory to further enhance the look of it. Quite subtle on a Sport, but of course we'll talk you through those as we go around. This particular example has had a rear spoiler fitted to it afterwards, and of course that is there to tie in with the rest of the sporty styling. And having a look here at the back then, we can see that we've got the reversing camera here. That's a standard spec on a Sport. You also get parking sensors, you've got rear parking sensors, front parking sensors as well. All of that comes as standard. This particular one has got a tow bar, and that has got 13-pin electrics on it as well. Having a look at condition then of the rear doors, you can see there's a lovely gloss to the paintwork, and generally speaking it's in really good condition here at the back. There's a very shallow sort of slight little dent just here, maybe where someone's pushed that with their hand to shut it. Now we will have our paintless dent removal specialist have a look at that to see if that can be improved, and just smallest little pin dent you can just see there as well. But generally speaking, in really nice presentable condition here at the back. When you open up the rear doors, you've got this little yellow arm that allows you to open the door right out to its full 180 degree position, and of course you can do exactly the same with the other door as well, and that then gives you maximum accessibility into the back of the van, but also allows me to show you the condition to its fullest inside the back of the van here as well. So it gives us a really good look at the inside of the rear doors, the floor, the sides, the roof. It's all generally looking really tidy in here. Of course, this one has got brand new ply lining. We do this on the vast majority of panel vans which come through into stock with us here, and of course that is there to protect the vehicle. So if you've got cargo moving around here in the back of the van, it's not going to cause a nasty outward dent in the side of your van. You can see there's plenty of tie down points. So you've got tie down points here at the back, at the front there against the bulkhead, and that of course is there to tie down in the back here. LED load lights, I believe that would be standard on the Sport model, and that of course is going to really help improve visibility in here in lower light conditions. And of course you can see you've got the bulkhead there which gives you that separation, and there's also a load through hatch there, so you can load longer items there right the way underneath the passenger seat. But fantastic condition here inside the back of the van. There's not a tremendous amount to fault in here. Of course you've got the hard wearing plastic floor, which is great. That allows you to really easily keep the van nice and clean in the back of there. You can give that a sweep out if you want to as well. Now you will notice on the side there, this one has got twin side loading doors, so a very rare option to find on these vans. We've had quite literally hundreds of Transit Customs over the years. I could count probably on one hand the amount of panel vans that we've had with twin side loading doors. So very unusual feature, certainly would have been an optional extra on this van. Yeah, as I say, it's not something that you see very much. So as I say, if you're looking for a Transit Custom with twin side loading doors, you're not going to find many. And there we are. This could be the van for you. Looking at condition here, then down the driver's side, you can again just look in those reflections and you can just see how clean and straight this is. There's Very little really in the way of any marks or dents. It's just in really good order. There's a tiny little pin dent just here, which again we may be able to get our dent guy to have a look at that. But yeah, there's not much I can fault it on really. Of course, you're going to get the odd tiny little chip and things here or there, but all in all, looking very good. You can see, of course, the Sport comes with this decal down the side of the vehicle, and that just ties in quite nicely actually with some of the other trim on the vehicle. So you can see here low down you've got the side skirts as well. That's another bit of styling there which comes on the Sport, and there are a couple of little marks just on here, just low down on the skirt, which have just been touched in. And it's quite common to see marks on those and the wheel arch extensions because they sort of protrude out on the van a little bit. They're quite common to pick up little stone chips, but this one certainly isn't too bad, and there's the smallest little mark just there as well. If I open up the driver's side loading door, this gives you just then another aspect of the load space from this side. It actually feels very weird looking inside a Transit Custom from this side because I'm just so used to not being able to gain access from here. If we open up the driver's door, then we can start to have a look inside the cab. So again, some really nice features inside here, standard and, as I say, some optional things on here as well. So first off, looking at the condition, looking at the step, the floor, generally it's in really good condition inside here. A big change on this particular example is the seats. So this one has got fully leather trimmed seats. Now a Sport, a standard, would come with a half leather seating in here. So leather on the outer bolsters and then sort of cloth in the centre. This one has got full leather interior, which of course has been added afterwards, and it is just absolutely stunning. It sets the van off so nicely. There's a lovely blue contrasting stitch. But a really nice upgrade on this van. Of course, you've got the fold down armrest just there. You can see that this van is supplied with 2 full flip remote keys. Of course, you've got things like electric windows, electric folding mirrors. While we fold the mirrors in, we can see that this one has got blind spot indicators, which would have been an optional extra. This one has also got adaptive cruise control, again, which would have been an optional extra, so you don't see that very often. Of course, you've got cruise control, normal cruise control on here as well, but so you can set the distance to the car in front with the radar on the front. And you've got your volume controls for the radio there, onboard computer controls on the right hand side. You can also answer and hang up the phone. Looking at the condition of the steering wheel, it's in very good order actually. Very little wear to the leather of the steering wheel. If we look into the centre then, we can see the mileage there, 40,913 miles recorded on this van. 6-speed manual gearbox to go along that 170 PS engine. This one has also got the 230 volt power converter under the handbrake there, which again, I believe that would be an optional extra on one of these. Looking at the screen in the centre then, this one has got sat-nav, which I believe is actually standard on a Sport. It doesn't come as standard on the Limited, but I believe sat-nav comes as standard on the Sport. Of course, you can also connect your phone to this via Bluetooth, and you can also connect it via one of the 2 USBs. So there's one there and one up on top of the dashboard here as well, and that gives you Apple CarPlay or Android Auto completely as standard on the Sync 3 screen. Into the centre then, you've got air conditioning, heated wing mirrors, heated seats, and a heated windscreen there. All of that comes as standard. Nice little hidden cup holder just underneath the gear stick. Generally speaking though, lovely condition inside here. There are a few sort of light marks to the plastics on the door cards, which I can just pick up here, and in the door pockets and things. You do see that quite often on these vans. Certainly not the worst I've seen, but certainly worth mentioning. Something else which would have been an optional extra are these alloy wheels. So these are the 18-inch Ford alloy wheels. So on a Sport you get 2 options. There's the standard ones, which are a sort of a diamond cut wheel. I believe they're slightly smaller. And then these, which are an 18, and I say these are an optional extra. So it's this nice matte sort of graphite grey. There are some curbing marks to the very edge of the wheel, which again have just been neatly touched in the correct colour. But I say worth noting. Something else that's worth noting are the tyres that are on here. So there's a full set of Goodyear tyres, which is of course always a sign that someone has really cared and looked after this van. And of course you can tell that from the spec as well. Speccing it with things like twin side loading doors, 230 volt power converter, adaptive cruise control. Clearly they wanted a van that was specced very nicely. And something else again, which is an optional extra, they've specced it with the bi-xenon headlight upgrade, so a much brighter headlight on this van than standard. Of course, you get the lovely LED daytime running light, which you get on the normal headlights as well, but that just does make a nice difference also. Looking at the front bumper then, the Sport does come with a different lower front bumper down here, so again, just some subtle styling. So you can see there's just a slight flare to the bottom here. This sort of protrudes out slightly, and this grille is different here at the bottom as well. And even the grille up the top here comes actually gloss black with all these gloss black fins, and that is specific to the Sport model. But I think a lovely looking van. I think in white with the contrasting black, the grey wheels, I think that's a gorgeous looking van. Have a look at the condition here then at the front of the van. Let's have a look. There's a few stone chips, of course, which are pretty much unavoidable on it. Of course, any used, not just van, but any used vehicle, you're going to get a few stone chips here or there. There's very few actually on this. But as I say, it is certainly, of course, worth mentioning. A few little marks just to the front end. But all in all, very, very tidy indeed. And then finally, looking here then down the passenger side of the vehicle. And again, just like to look in those reflections then, you can see how clean and straight that is. Looking absolutely fantastic down the passenger side. There's really not much I can fault on that. That's looking very, very clean and tidy. Now, during our preparation, we have put this van right through our workshop. So we have, of course, done a service on it, but crucially, we have changed the timing belt, or what is known as the wet belt, on these 2-litre EcoBlue diesel engines. So that job has been done in our van specialist workshop, which is Bridgend Van Care, so you're not going to have to worry about that for years to come, or many, many miles to come. So that is all taken care of. We've also done a brake fluid change as well as part of that. We also do hold service history. I believe there's 2 previous services that we have record of, which are stamped in the service book. But again, you can speak to us on that for the exact sort of dates and mileages of those. But clearly the van has been well looked after, and as I say, now with its new timing belt is absolutely ready to go on to the next phase of its life. A really interesting van with the spec, with the bi-xenon headlights, leather interior, things like the adaptive cruise control, twin side loading doors, which is, as I mentioned, so rare, the alloy wheel upgrade. It is a very interesting van, and not one that we're likely to see replicated anytime soon, I wouldn't think. The vehicle will be supplied with 12 months AA warranty. That is the Protect Plus warranty with a £3,000 claim limit, so it's a very, very comprehensive warranty, and you do have the options to upgrade that to 2 or 3 years with ourselves if you want to. So to go to 2 years, that is £399 plus VAT, and to go to 3 years, that's £599 plus VAT, which I think when you sort of weigh that up, especially over 3 years, that's a lot of coverage for just short of £600 plus the VAT. It doesn't take long to rack up a £600 bill on any vehicle these days, so I think to get 3 years of cover for that sort of money, I think that offers pretty good value. We can take cars or vans in part exchange. We can arrange finance at very competitive rates, whether that be for private individuals or for limited companies, and we can also deliver our vans nationwide as well. If you haven't seen it already, I'd urge you to head over to our website, bridgeendvans.co.uk. That's where you'll find the full advert of this vehicle, which includes the price, the description and the photography, and of course you'll see all of the other vans that we've currently got advertised on there as well. Thank you very much for watching.